On January 18th, 2022, a police officer from the Portage Police Department was summoned to the department's lobby to address a complaint. The communications center informed the officer that the complainant intended to surrender their 20-year-old daughter, Iyanna Colon, due to an existing traffic-related warrant. Upon arrival, the officer found Iyanna and her parents in the lobby. Iyanna's father signaled their desire to speak privately with the officer. The family was escorted to a conference room. There, Iyanna's father handed the officer a note with an address, expressing urgent concern for the welfare of the individual residing there and suggesting the possibility that the person might be deceased. The officer inquired with Iyanna about her reasons for suspecting the individual's demise, to which she confessed that she and the apartment's occupant, a recent acquaintance, had an altercation the previous day. During the incident, she blacked out and began choking him until he ceased breathing. Officers promptly headed to the provided address, but despite persistent knocking, received no response. Given Iyanna's account, they concluded it was imperative to enter and ascertain the occupant's safety. Inside, after announcing themselves repeatedly to no reply, they discovered a male figure lying on his back on a closet floor, concealed by blankets and coats. It was ascertained that the individual was deceased due to evident rigor mortis. The scene was secured and a search warrant was procured. Back at the station, the investigative process commenced with the questioning of Iyanna.
Iyanna, my name's Derek Hess. I'm a detective here at the police department. I work with Detective Tafey. Okay. You doing okay?
Trying to.
Okay. This water and that other bar is for you if you wanted something to drink. Okay. Making sure. So I heard a little bit about something that had gone on, but I don't really know all the facts yet, so that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you. Are you from Kalamazoo? Did you go to high school here? Did you graduate high school?
No.
No. What level did you get to in school?
Up to 12.
Up to 12th grade? Just a little short of finishing up? Have you gone to any college at all?
No.
No.
I got accepted into KVCC.
Well, that's good. Are you signed up or taking classes there?
I got accepted and I didn't have enough to pay for the culinary class. So
Yeah, it's not free, is it?
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right. So if you got accepted to KVCC, you must like read and write, okay?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part? Okay. All right. Well, hey, one of the things with my job is to kind of figure out the truth out of everything. That's what we do every day, is figure out what happened to stuff, all across the city and in any different capacity as far as whatever it is. If something happened somewhere, and we're tasked with figuring out what really happened. And one of the ways that we do that is talking to people. So I want to talk to you about what you've been up to lately. Okay.
Okay.
I see you got handcuffs on, and I know we're in a jail, so that changes things a little bit for me, only that I have to read you some things before we can talk. Is that okay? All right. So it says you have the right to remain silent. And it says anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Okay. Do you understand each of those that I read to you? You're shaking your head, but is that a yes? You understand each of them?
Yeah, I'm just remaining silent.
Okay. So having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now?
I mean, I want to hear what was said.
Okay.
Or,
Well, the only thing that's been said is what your parents said. And I know that a lot of what they said came from you, but I mean, obviously you're the best source of information.
okay.
So that's why I wanted to talk to you after either me or my partners talk to your parents. Does that make sense?
Mm.
I kind of want to hear it right from the horse's mouth, as they say. Like, get it right from the source.
Alright.
Is that fair? Okay. So having all these rights that I read to you in mind, are you willing to answer questions?
I don't know. I've never been in this predicament. So.
Right, yeah, no, I know. It's entirely up to you. It's one of those things that you can, if there's certain questions you don't want to answer, you can just say, I don't want to answer that. If you don't want to answer any questions, you don't have to. At any time, you can say, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and I'll leave. But if there are questions that you're willing to answer, I'm interested in hearing what your answers are.
Okay.
But it's entirely up to you.
Okay.
Want some water? No?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine trying to eat 2 of those Special K bars and not drinking any water. That'd be some sort of challenge on TikTok or something, right? Iyanna, are you willing to talk to me or at least hear what I got to say?
I mean, I'll hear you out, but I don't know what was all said or whatever. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. All right. What happened last night?
Basically, he just got really violent. I think he was on some type of drug. He was sitting down on a couch, and he charged at me. After I threw some water in his face.
Why?
Because he called me out my name and kept on turning on stuff and just he knew stuff that was getting under my skin, basically. So anyway, I throw a little bit of water in his face and he stands up and that's when he just loses everything. He just charges at me. He starts pulling my hair. My head is all the way down here. And I start trying to fight him back. And it was the couch is right here. And the door is right here. And there's a bed right next to it. So it started initially from the couch. He charged at me. I landed on the bed, hit my head. And then he started to choke me out, and that's when I started fighting him back, trying to push him. So I pushed him successfully, to the door, and he was reaching for the chain, trying to say I was hurting him. And I was like, what do you mean I'm hurting you? What do you mean? So just basically, just after that, he just went ham, and I blacked out, and I couldn't breathe. I had I choked really fucking hard. I could feel spit in the back of my throat, when he used both hands. So it just made me freak out. And then eventually he just stopped breathing. So I don't know, I felt I don't know, it made me feel almost empty. That's all I can really say. And it just made me sadder and sadder just looking at him. And then I I ended up like just moving and, you know, putting his favorite robe on him. Because I felt bad, but like when I'm put in a situation like that. I had to do what I had to do.
Okay. Who's he?
I met him, I want to say, McDonald's. I was working as a cashier there for like a couple months ago. And he came through the drive-thru and he ordered like a Big Mac or something. And I gave him my number like on a record receipt. And like we'd basically been hanging out and stuff. He always like would like admit these feelings to me and stuff, and I'd be like, just trying to be friends, you know, and stuff like that. And he just really just like over time you would see how he would just change. I don't know how to like describe it, but it's like he went from sweet to like sociopath. Like he just wanted me around him, and I was just staying there so that I could just like have a place to stay for my job and, you know, like kick it, hang out with him. He's like a lonely guy, so I was just like hanging out with him, and, you know, and he just got crazier and crazier. And then I noticed, like, particularly within the past 3 days of hanging out with him, that he would do like this with his nose, like this, like just like he was off some type of drug. And he told me about like this scamming stuff and like promethazine and fake doctors and just like getting prescriptions that he didn't need. So I don't know if it was a pill or if it was like a promethazine type thing or powder, whatever. I don't know about that. But
what's his name?
Man, it's like he's from Saudi Arabia, so it's like MANALBOWI or BLOWI.
Okay. Do you know his last name?
That was his last name.
Oh, what's his first name?
Man.
Oh.
MAAN.
I gotcha. I'm sorry. So like Man Al-Bawi, something like that?
Like Man Al-Blowy or Bowie, something, I don't know.
Okay. How old is he?
I believe he said he was 25.
And he lives there by himself?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him, like why he's in Kalamazoo or what he does here?
He was like telling me like how he was doing like some kind of like he was trying to like provide for his family and, you know, stuff like that, but he was like scamming like and using fake IDs and stuff, and he always wanted me to like join in on it, but I would just be like, no, like, and I feel like gradually over time he would get mad at me because like sometimes like I feel like he thought I was using him or like something like that. So like even when I like asked him to go get some like Dollar Tree cleaning supplies and stuff, like he would like get an attitude and I'd just be cleaning the house or cooking for him and stuff, and I don't know, it was just like I don't understand why that was a problem.
Okay.
But
So were you guys like dating?
no. The furthest thing that I allowed from him was like just a kiss on the cheek. We were not like dating or together, so.
Did he want it to be that? Did he want to have a romantic relationship with you?
I feel like in his head he thought he could have a relationship with me, or like potentially be with me, but like every time he like tried to lay under me and like get on the bed with me and stuff, like I don't know, like he'll like start touching my thigh and stuff, and I'll just be like, yo, you need to back up, like, and he just like just is a really touchy feely person.
Okay.
So.
All right. So what was going on at the apartment last night? You guys just hanging out, or what was up?
We were just like, we had came back from my friend's house. He left me out there for an hour. He said he had to go to a class for like an hour or something.
So you were at the apartment by yourself for an hour?
Yes, I was at my friend's apartment.
Oh, okay.
And he came back to get me, and the reason we left my friend's apartment was because he started a confrontation at my friend's apartment. Like, he would start doing this with his nose and stuff, and I'd be like, yo, are you okay? And, you know, stuff like that. And then he'll, like pull down, like, his pants, like showing his boxers, like, so almost like his dick would, like, be seen and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it just, like, made me feel uncomfortable, so I got into an argument with him at my friend's house, and then my friend started sticking up for him, so I was like, I feel out of place, so we might as well just go. So, we left, and when we got back and stuff, I, like, had, like, the whole entire car, like, was just silent, no music, no nothing, and then as soon as we got back to the house, he like tried playing like this music, and like I'm the type of person like I like peaceful music and you know stuff like that, and he's like the more like the violent like upbeat music. I don't know how to explain it, but basically, I just asked him to turn the music down and stuff, and then he would just, like, be doing this with his teeth, like giving me these mean looks, and I'd be like, what is all that for? Like, so, that's basically how things transpired and led up to that, and then just the name calling and all the stuff that came after it. So.
What kind of names did he call, or were people being called?
He called me like a bitch, and I think really what it was that yesterday, his brother, like I would say 2 days ago, his brother and him took me for a ride. They took me to Myers, and this is when we went and got the cleaning supplies. But when we had went to the gas station, he ran inside without his brother. His brother's like driving the car, so his brother is like talking to me and a bit like being like, did he get any pussy from you and stuff like that? And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, that's not even a factor. Like, so I was like, yeah, we're friends. We're not even dating or anything. And he was like, well, to be honest, I would have been cracked you. And I was like I felt kind of like offended.
What does that mean?
But I was
what
just,
he said?
like, cracked you, like I would have been like put my dick in you, like type thing. I don't. So it just like threw me off. But like I was just kind of like, all right. I mean, I guess like laughed it off. I guess. So he comes back in the car and he's like, "What are you guys laughing at?" And I was like, I didn't want to say it in front of him, you know, like, and just start something between them because they're brothers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I waited till we got back to the house, and when he asked me that, I was just like, it was nothing really, just like making some jokes or some shit. So when we got back to the house, we got into an argument because I needed a ride to go see my friend, and he was mad that I asked him if his friend could drive me to where I was for some gas money. And he was just like, why, or like, why? And I was like, what do you mean why? Like, I just need a ride. And so he was like hesitant at first, and then he like opened up and was like, all right, I mean, I'll text him. So he texted him, and then basically he got mad because I had basically said the truth. So he was like, he was just like, we don't give a fuck, anyway, we pass bitches around. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? You know, like, but I don't know, it just made me feel like out of place. And then I noticed like extremely like just weird patterns of behavior like after that. But yeah, and like that, I think really what set it off was either he was taking some drugs, and then just that situation on top of the drugs like just made him like act out of anger. And I don't think he was really paying mind to what he would say. Like he just seemed like off in the head, like he was just like laid back on the inside, but like just mean as hell on the outside. I don't know how to explain it.
You ever seen him like this before?
No, it was just like the past 3 days.
Did you see him do any drugs?
I didn't see him do any drugs. I saw him like smoke weed. Like he smokes like a ton of weed. Like just back to back to back. And I would tell him like, yo, I'm on probation. I can't, you know what I'm saying, be around that and stuff. And like he'll even get like so disrespectful. Like he'll just blow it in my face, like, and just be disrespectful. So I would go try to open up the window, and he'll get mad at me for opening up the window. Like, and I'll be like, what do you expect? I'm not gonna like just sit in your face and then you're like smoking back to back. And I've only ever seen him use weed or cigarettes. Any other drugs besides that, no. And then promethazine, he was telling me a little bit about how he was like getting fake prescriptions from like doctors for promethazine. And he said like he lost his doctor and he was like pissed about it. I don't know what that was supposed to mean.
What did he do with the promethazine?
I think like he would like sold it like to some of his like family members, or like he just drank it. He was like, I love lean, which is what they call promethazine. So.
Okay. Did you see him take promethazine, just like drink it?
I've never seen him take it, but he had like in the apartment there's like bottles, like I don't know if you guys like saw it when you went in there, but there's like bottles in like one of his suitcases. It's like maybe like 8, 9, or 10 bottles. So.
All right. So things are not going well at the apartment. What time do you think this all kind of kicked off, where he started getting mean last night?
I would say maybe like around 11:30 or 12.
Okay. And how did it start? Just with the name calling and stuff that you talked about?
Just like when I asked him to turn down the music, and you know, I just wanted some peace and quiet, because like sometimes I just get anxious like when like too much is going on and then the violent music is playing. It's just like I get like real fidgety. So I asked him to just turn it down or turn it off for a minute, and he was like, I'll do what I want in my house. Like, and I was just like, damn. So I got mad and I threw the water in his face, and that's what triggered everything. So.
What's the next thing that happened?
What do you mean?
Like, what happened? You threw water in his face, and then what happened after that?
I just said what happened after that. He pulled me by my hair and charged at me.
Yeah, but I'm just looking for a little bit more detail.
He charged at me while he was sitting on the red couch.
Mm-hmm.
He was smoking a cigarette. He put out his cigarette after I threw the water on his face. And then he charged at me and tackled me onto the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he started pulling my hair. And then I started fighting him back, and I pushed him to the door, and he started grabbing the chain and taking the chain off the door and shit. And then he started doing this around my neck.
Okay.
And then he eventually pushed me on the bed, and he was choking me. I hit my head on the wall, and he was just I could not breathe. I felt myself swallowing spit in the back of my throat.
Okay.
And it was life or death at that point. So I was just
Did you lose consciousness?
I was at one point in time, I was saying maybe for 30 seconds, I just felt my throat was closing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't breathe, so I was freaking out. I started pulling his hair, and then I started choking him, and while he was choking me, I was just this is beyond me. So
you don't think you lost consciousness?
I mean, that I lost consciousness or he lost consciousness?
You. While he was choking you, do you think you lost consciousness?
Yeah. Because my throat was closing, and I was just I could barely, I started seeing colors and spit closing in the back of my throat. So I mean some kind of unconsciousness was there. It was just a life-threatening situation.
Okay. So how did that make you feel when all that was going on?
It made me feel really angry. I don't know why he was that violent towards me. It just made me feel maybe he just was acting sweet in the beginning, just to try to get me over his house. And then I noticed within the past 3 days how he was just sexually touching me and trying to lay with me and stuff, which is normal because guys do that, but I just feel uncomfortable, and if I tell you to keep backing off, cause I've been through a lot of stuff, I don't like being in a type of situation where I feel I'm uncomfortable. And he just he would test the boundaries, and then when he kissed me on the cheek and stuff, I just be I just want to kiss on the cheek. He'll grab the back of my head like this and just try to force the kiss, and I'll be so I just be no, you need to go over there. So yeah.
Was he saying anything while this fight was going on?
He said help, she's trying to kill me or something. And I was are you kidding me? He charged at me and was choking me. And then when I fought back, he tried going to the door and taking off the chain. That's where that transpired.
What do you think he was trying to do when he was taking the chain off the door? Was he trying to leave, or was he trying to do something else?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I just panicked, and then he started choking me. That's when he threw me on the bed, trying to fight me off and stuff. And once he started choking me, and like I couldn't breathe, and I felt my head hitting the back of the wall. Like I was just like,
Okay. You said earlier that he went ham. And I think I know what that means, but I don't want to guess and put words in your mouth. So what does it mean when someone goes ham?
meaning like, what context was
You
did I
said he
use
got
ham?
angry at you and charged you, and then he went ham.
Ham as in like you could feel all the aggression, like with every move that he made. Like when he charged at me,
Mm-hmm.
I felt all the aggression and nerves in my body just be like, this is threatening. Like, and then just when he started pulling my hair and like getting real violent and had my head like all the way down here, like my shoulder was messing up. It still hurts. Like my neck hurts, and like I just like I don't want to feel anything. I don't want to like eat anything. I don't even want to like get any good sleep. And it's like, I don't know, like I guess what I mean by ham is just like when you feel someone's like nerves and aggression just pass into you, like with their anger.
Okay. Have you ever been in a situation with him before where you would describe it as something similar? With him going ham?
We were in an altercation where I would say maybe like 2 days or like 3 days before this fight.
Mm-hmm.
So basically for the first fight and stuff, like he would like just blow smoke in my face and like just like give me like these dirty looks, and then he'll like act all lovey-dovey, and like it was just like almost like a sociopath like kind of behavior, and like it made me feel uncomfortable. So I was like, why do you do that? Like you just act all mean, and then you're like lovey-dovey and stuff. And he just got aggressive with his words. He was like, you're tripping, and none of this, never that, and stuff like that. And I was like, so he got mad at me, and again he came for me. Like he charged at me and he started pulling my hair, and I pulled out, I remember he said that like I pulled out one of his braids or something, like loosened it. He had like braids in his hair or something. But I think like he was just like upset from that, but like we eventually ended up letting each other go. So
Would one of you leave, or how did that situation end?
no, I stayed there, and it was just like kind of mute for like 30 minutes. And then he like came over to the bed where I was laying on, and he was just like, do you want to talk about it, and you know, stuff like that. And I'm like sort of hesitant to talk about it with him, and I'm just like, I don't know, like we admitted we were both in the wrong, like, and it shouldn't have got to where it got to, but it was like, it was kind of purposeless, like after it, because it was like the same behaviors would still continue the next 3 days or whatever. Like,
So
I don't know.
Nothing changed.
Yeah. And then every time he went to the bathroom, like he'll go take like a purse in the bathroom. I don't know why he took a purse in the bathroom, but
What do you mean?
like, I don't know, like he'll take like a blunt, a cigarette, and then he'll take like a almost like a satchel into the bathroom. Like, and he never wanted me to open it. He always carried it with him. And I was just like,
Do you think he's got drugs in there or something?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
What's this satchel look like?
It was like a black leather.
Okay.
And, yeah. I just, like, took it in the bathroom, so.
Okay. Who's your friend's apartment that you guys were at where this problem happened?
It was all the way in another town, and I don't have that address.
What town?
It was in Battle Creek.
Oh. Do you know her name?
I don't feel comfortable giving you her name.
Okay. All right, so kind of back to the fight here last night. You guys are fighting. He's doing something with the chain on the door, and then all this other stuff happens where you're seeing colors and that sort of stuff. And then kind of what happens after that?
Just like, I don't really want to get like into the detail because it's like kind of traumatizing, like just seeing what I saw and stuff, and like I'll start getting emotional, like, so I really don't want to like talk about like what I saw, but I felt wrong afterwards, but I knew that it was a threatening situation. Like, I just,
Okay.
yeah, I don't
So
wanna talk
you had said
about that.
at one point he had stopped breathing, and then you said something about a robe. You put him in his favorite robe.
Yeah, I had covered him up with his favorite robe and stuff. Like, I sat there for like an hour and a half, and I was just seeing like if he was gonna like, you know, open his eyes or blink or show some kind of sign movement, and it never happened. So I was just like, I felt terrible, you know, because it shouldn't have had to leave or get to that point. But it was just like,
What happened after that?
just, I put him in his favorite robe, and I took him off the bed and just like put him in a like put him in a better place, like a fuzzier place, like just so like I didn't have to like look at him. So
Where was that fuzzier place?
I put him in I put him in the closet.
Okay.
And I put he was like in love with his dad.
With his dad?
And he had like a chain that he would wear, and it had like his picture on it. And so I just placed it over his butt.
What happened after that?
I sat there and I cleaned like the entire apartment.
I thought you had just cleaned the day before.
No, he bought the cleaning supplies, but they weren't open or anything.
Okay.
I had like some wipes already in the house and stuff, so I just used that to like clean the other day, but before we got it.
So last night you said you cleaned the whole apartment?
Yes, I threw away cigarette butts and all of the excess trash that was spilled on the floor. He like knocked over a couple ashtrays, some candles, and I just like put it back all in place because like I felt bad for how it ended. So I just felt like, you know, he let me stay in his home, so like I thought I would just like take care of just the apartment, and, you know.
Okay. How long do you think that lasted that you were cleaning the apartment?
I would say maybe like 30 or 40 minutes.
Okay.
Like I just basically wiped tables down, just like cleaned or attempted to clean the bathroom, and then I just kind of like just sat there and cried and was just praying. So, because I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm like on probation and stuff. I don't want to like, you know, like I was scared to call last night, and you know, like I'm not used to like these situations or predicaments. So when it like just all transpired, and like it really hit me. It's just like,
Did you reach out to anybody last night?
I reached out to a couple people, and I was like, I need you to pray over me and just pray for closure. And I texted my mom and dad good night. And it's just like I didn't want to like tell them like, hey, this happened tonight. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just got really emotional, and I just sat there and cried. And
Did you tell anybody last night what happened?
no.
Okay. Did you sleep at all last night?
I attempted to sleep. Like, I had nowhere to go. It was like hours, like after, and I didn't have anywhere to go. And I tried falling asleep. So that's when I moved him from off the bed, because I can't sleep on the couch. And I just like tried.
Is there only one bed in the apartment?
Yes.
I haven't been there, so I'm not asking you a trick question or anything. I haven't been there. So when you wanted to sleep off the bed, that's when you moved him? Okay. So then what was happening through like real late at night or real early this morning? Like what was going on then?
Like I woke up like around 6:30, and I cause I had a probation call at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I set an alarm on my phone to just like remind me to wake up. And I had ended up leaving the house like kind of early after I like texted a couple people, and I was like, I need you, like I want to see you. And I just ended up leaving and catching the bus because I felt out of place there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't feel right just being there. So
Where'd you go on the bus?
I went to my cousin's house.
Okay. What's your cousin's name?
I'm not comfortable answering that.
Okay. Did you tell your cousin what happened?
Yes, he was one of the first people that I told this information to.
Okay. Who else did you tell today?
Just my parents, like, I was like, stuff just escalated. And there was like, is anyone hurt? And I felt bad. Started praying.
Okay.
And they just said that I should come up here. Okay.
Okay. And that's when your dad got to town?
He came like 2 hours after I arrived at my cousin's house.
Okay.
And I was just in shock, like,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I just, like, needed their support. Like, I can't just walk around pretending like that was normal what happened last night.
Right.
So,
What time do you think you went to sleep last night? You told me you woke up at 6:30, but what time do you think you went to sleep?
I'd say we were like around 3:30 or 4.
No wonder you're so tired. You only slept a couple
I feel
hours?
really restless.
Yeah. So once your dad got there, it sounds like your mom was aware that something happened and they came and got you. Did you tell anybody else other than your cousin and your mom and dad?
Just like a couple of my family members, because like, I don't really want to get into specifics, but I just feel like I needed to express it and, instead of just letting him sit there and rot,
Yeah. Okay. How did you reach out to your parents to let them know?
I called them via phone and text message.
Is the text like regular text, or is it like Facebook Messenger or Text Now or something? Or what is it?
I don't want to say.
Okay. So in some fashion you reached out to your folks and that's how they got here to support you. Okay. Let's see if my list of questions is all... Do you know if this guy has family around here?
I never met any of his family.
Okay.
I met his brother, or in quotation marks. I don't even know if like they're real brothers or if they're just like best friends or whatever, but
Right. What kind of car does he drive?
I believe he had a rental, and I'm not sure exactly what type of car it was. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Did he typically use rentals, or did he have his own and then the rental was extra?
He said he had his own car, but his car was like in a shop
Oh,
or something.
Okay, well, that's why he had the rental done.
And it was like getting it repaired. And then he would just like get rentals like basically every other day. Like just to get by or Uber.
You think of anything, sir?
I'm just not, because you may have already answered the question. I'm curious, how long have you known him for?
This was back when I had my McDonald's job, so like, I'd say maybe like a month or two.
You've known him for a month or two?
A month or two.
Okay. And up until last night, how many nights in a row had you stayed with him at the apartment?
I'd say maybe like about a week.
Okay, you've been staying there about a week. Had you stayed overnight there before?
I like came over and like kicked it with him, and he would like drive me like places that I needed to go to stay and stuff.
Okay.
But he like, I was basically just telling him like I had like when I had nowhere to go, like he would come pick me up and I'd go over his house and we'd just kick it.
Okay.
And then it was just like the touchy-feely stuff and just kicking him off the bed.
And the touchy-feely stuff kind of came on as
You
the
just
time
got
you
more
knew him?
aggressive, like gradually. It was
Okay.
like just like it'll start with like a thigh touch or
Yep.
or like a damn you look good and
Okay.
you know stuff like that. And then when he'll be like, can I kiss you? And I'll be like, you can kiss me on the cheek, cause like I'm not gonna lie, like I noticed like his eyes were like yellow and stuff, so like I didn't want to lay down with him, and
Okay.
like I don't want to like judge anybody for that, you know?
Yeah.
Cause everybody goes through something in life. But I just noticed like he would like grab the back of, when I said that he would grab the back of my head and like kind of try to force the kiss, like, you know, come here.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't like stuff like that.
Sure.
Because I've been through traumatic
Okay.
and difficult experiences,
Okay.
like sexual trauma, and so
What would it mean if his eyes are yellow?
just like I didn't know if like maybe like he had like hepatitis or
Oh, okay.
you know.
Sure.
So
So you've known him for a month or two, right?
I've known him for a month or two.
Okay. Had you stayed with him prior to the most recent 3 or 4 nights or week? Had you stayed with him for any length of a time, like nights in a row before that?
I'd say like 2 weeks before that, we kicked it at his house like maybe like once or twice, and he would just drive me like to my friend's house, stay the night,
Okay.
and then like I'd say maybe like a couple weeks later, like he'll just like text me and like, you know, like on my phone, and he'll be like, hey, you should come over, and I'll be like, well, I actually don't have anywhere to stay tonight, and you know, so he'd come get me, and
Okay.
we'll go back to the apartment, and then I just gradually like was like, maybe I could stay here for a couple days or nights, because
Okay.
I was getting a job at Carrabba's,
Okay. Yeah.
and
It'd be handy.
I had
Yeah.
just like scored an interview there yesterday, and like everything was going good, and that's why like it really like just was like weird for me, like just to have that happen when everything was going so good, you know?
Right. Okay. Of the time frame that you have known him, how many nights total would you say you spent the night there? And I know that it kind of came and went as you needed a place to stay.
I would say like maybe like a week and 2 days.
Okay, so like a week being 7 days, so maybe a total of 9 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
Overall.
twice before the week where he would twice before, like when I didn't have anything where to stay or whatever.
Okay.
And then the week, a couple weeks after, I come over there for a day, and that's when I asked him if I could stay for a couple of days.
Okay.
And then I saw that Carrabba's was hiring,
Yep.
and I was like, maybe I could just get a job and lay low for a little bit over here. And it was just like, it became a problem and a problem and a problem. So.
How many times was he violent with you during the time you've known him?
I'd say maybe about like 3 times. I just noticed like when he'll start grinding his teeth and like just giving me these like weird looks, like he just hated me.
Okay.
And like he'll like blow his smoke in my face, like if I'm sitting like on the bed and stuff, like he'll come over in my space, like, or walk over me and be like all in my face, and I'll be like,
that's creepy, and I get where you're coming from.
Eerie.
It's eerie and kind of creepy. How many times did he ever put his hands on you when you didn't want his hands on you?
I would say, but like sexually or like
just when I guess I'm trying to dial in on what I mean by violence. What I mean by violence, did he ever push you, strike you, choke you, hit you with an instrument? How many times was he violent? And please describe what you mean by violent.
He never hit me with an instrument.
Okay.
But he was like violent, like where he would choke me and pull my hair.
How many times in that time that you knew him did he ever pull your hair and choke you, or separately?
I would say maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And like I noticed like after he'll be like you're always texting all these guys and shit, and like just acting like a jealous, like overzealous, arrogant, like just I don't want to say it, but like dick. Like just.
Let me ask you this, and I know this might be a hard question to ask, and I don't mean to have you relive it, but I'm trying to get an understanding of when his hands are on your neck, what is running through your mind at that time?
Like, I felt like you know, like when somebody's like just like choking you, and like you can like feel like your mind, like it just goes like black, and like it's like I started seeing like white speckles, like in my brain.
Okay.
And it was like I was just losing breath, and the banging on the wall, like when my head hit the wall and stuff.
And this is the most recent time. This is yesterday. Okay.
And then he like had me like this, and he was standing over me, and that's when I started pulling his hair, and he already had a piece of my hair, keep in mind, but he had a piece of my hair, and he had me down like this, and then he just started choking me, and that's when I was like, I grabbed the back of his head. I'm just like trying to like get him off of me. He's like, let go of me, and I'm like, you're not letting go of me and stuff. And he just like started just going ham.
Okay.
In quotation marks.
When he's got you down like that yesterday, what do you think is going to happen when he's got you down like that?
I felt like he was trying to kill me. Like,
tell me more about that feeling and where that comes from.
Like, I just felt like you know when you look a person in their eyes and you can just see like the hatred that they have for you.
Okay.
Like, and I don't mean it like in a crazy way, or, you know, like to sound crazy, but like when you look someone in their eyes and you just see like some kind of resentment or like grief that they have towards you.
Okay.
It was like he'll be lovey-dovey at first and be sweet and like take me to get like food and stuff, and then it's like he'll just act like he's like pimping me, you know, like when he said like I don't care if my brother hit on you, we pass around, like what is that supposed to mean? Like, and you like I'm a grown ass woman, like I'm not just something that's gonna be passed around.
Okay, so when he has you down and he's got his hands around your neck and you're feeling the choking, if you didn't do something about that, what did you think was going to happen?
I felt like I was going to die.
Tell me why you felt like you were going to die.
because he had such a tight grip on me. And it was like, I was like I could feel his arms around my neck. And I was just like, you know how your throat like kind of clicks, like when you can't breathe? It was like closing and closing. And it was just like really tight in the back of my throat. And I was like this, and my eyes started bulging out my head. And
Okay.
I was like, this is life or death.
Okay. Afterwards, when you notice that he's no longer breathing, what are you thinking at that point?
I'm just like, I mean, I hope he's alive, but like,
Okay, that's a good answer. So how long would you say it took for your hands on his neck for him to stop putting hands on your neck? Like how quickly, once you started to intervene on what he was doing, when did he stop?
I would say it was like the whole fight lasted about like maybe 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
It just like when he just like started choking me and stuff like that. I noticed like he was just like fighting me and like he was looking me in my eyes while he was doing it, and I just felt like I just felt like really bad about it. Like it just was
It's a bad thing. Okay, so you're describing you're on your back, is that correct, when he starts choking you?
Yes.
Okay. And then you reach up to start choking him to get him to stop, correct?
Yes.
Okay, was there ever a time where once your choking started to get him to stop, did you then change positions to make sure that he couldn't start up again?
I pulled the jacket off of him.
Okay.
And I tried to get on top of him, cause he had me balled up against the wall.
Okay.
Where the bed you could just squeeze down and you can't really fight back. My legs were kicking and
Okay.
stuff. And so I pulled his jacket off him and I tried to get on top of him, and I was just
And at this point, is he still kind of struggling and fighting with you?
he's he's still pulling my hair and
Okay.
attempting to do what he can do.
Still fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Do you want to take a break? You can eat your other bar and
Yeah.
something to drink. We've been at this an hour or something.
Yeah. Do you need to use the bathroom again?
I mean, I could.
It's up to you. If you want to, you don't have to.
I'd like to.
Okay. To get into that bar, and we'll talk about what you just mentioned to me outside there when the other detective gets here. Okay. All right.
You got a trash can?
It's got spit in something. Why don't you go over here in the sink? I'm gonna in the sink over there. Last time I had you, babe, you started getting sick.
I was lightheaded.
Well,
But I laid down for a little
the
bit.
better thing for you to do right now is to drink water and maybe eat another one of those if you can. That's probably a lot better choice than vaping right now.
Can you guys like talk to my parents?
I've been keeping him informed on when you were sleeping and talked to your dad about getting you something to eat. You walked down to the
She
Walgreens.
stopped crying.
She's doing okay. I think she wants to just get out of the police department lobby for right now. And I don't know what she did. I don't know if she's still here or not. But they're doing okay. So, just for clarity, I want you to tell Detective Hess what you talked about just before we went in and used the bathroom, about your comfort level in speaking at this point.
I left too early.
I just like just certain things like I feel like I should discuss with my attorney first.
Okay. I told you that right from the
Things
beginning.
like that.
Yeah.
But like the questions weren't like too uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
It was just like more so like just like remembering what happened, how he was laying.
Yeah, you'll notice if you said you didn't want to talk about something, I didn't ask you that question again. Right? Okay, so I'm trying to be respectful of your wishes. If there's certain things you don't want to talk about, we won't talk about it. It's fine.
Alright, cool.
I can understand the position you're in, and I'm not trying to like trick you or anything. It's just a couple of things that I thought of. Do you have a key to that apartment?
I locked the door, and I took the keys with me.
Okay. Where are those keys?
I'm not sure. It's probably in my bag.
Okay. When you cleaned last night, did you take, you talked about picking up the trash because it got knocked over and stuff. Did you take any trash out to the dumpster?
No.
So anything that was there is still in the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed?
Okay. I know you had talked with him earlier about.
I did. I took a walk, like, if you mean like going out to the dumpster or whatever. I took like a walk around the parking lot, like just getting a breath of fresh air because I was tired of looking at them. And I just like did a lap and then
Came back. Okay. What time do you think that was?
I'm not sure what time.
You had mentioned something earlier about some injuries that you might have. Oh, and I'll talk to you more about those in just a minute. But my question was he injured at all? Like, did he have any cuts on his hands or eyebrow?
I didn't really like look at his body, but
For the most part, it was mainly just like choking and pulling hair, and
Was there blood anywhere?
I didn't see any blood.
Okay. Where are you injured?
Just like I have like throat pain, like when I talk like right now, like I
Does
feel
it
like
still hurt?
yeah. I
Is
feel
it hard
like
to swallow?
something-
Those things are kind of hard to swallow anyway, but
I feel like something just like in my esophagus is like closing almost, like it's making my voice raspier.
okay.
And I have like a back pain. It's nothing like really too major, and then just like part of my hair, like my neck right here is like real tender. Like I don't know if you want to take a look at it right now.
We'll have somebody come and take
Yeah.
pictures of it. And it'll probably be a female officer that takes some photos just to kind of document your injuries.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any idea what caused any of those specific injuries?
Just when he pulled my hair and was choking me.
Okay. But you don't, I mean, there wasn't like you bumped your head on a table or there was nothing, anything that sticks out in your mind?
We knocked over the table, but it was just like where it was like scooted. Like it wasn't like the whole table flipped over, but it was like we're fighting in the apartment, so like we like bumped into the table while we were fighting. But
Okay. Do you have questions for me?
when do you think my attorney will be here?
Well, the trick with court-appointed attorneys is you don't get one until you get to court. Really.
So how long do you think it'll be till I go to court?
Well, I can kind of speak to that because we had a very similar case last week. So what's going to happen is, and I don't know if that's accurate. It is. It's 20 to 8 at night. Obviously, this just all came to the police's attention in the last 4 hours.
So it's 7:40.
7:43. Yep. So this just came to our attention a little bit ago. We have to get a search warrant for the apartment, that sort of stuff. There's a lot that we have to do yet tonight and through the day tomorrow.
All right.
There isn't any way that we can release you while we do that.
All right.
Okay. That's not to say that
I mean, I kind of
anything's set in
expected
stone, right?
But, like,
So
I wouldn't
it's-
expect y'all to like.
it's not like we would take you from here right to prison because you're already convicted and all that sort of stuff. Or that's way down the road of anything like that. But we don't have a choice as far as what to do with you tonight. You have to go to the jail tonight. That's just all. There's no other option. I don't know if our case will be submitted to the prosecutor tomorrow, or if it might be, what, today's Tuesday?
Maybe Thursday.
It's probably more likely that it's Thursday. Okay, so you probably have to spend 2 nights there. What they do at that point, I have no idea, because number one, we haven't been through the apartment. Number two, we have no idea what injuries he has.
What do you mean? What they do from there?
What the prosecutor does from there. Because those are the attorneys. The attorneys are the ones that actually authorize or deny the charges. So we put all of our police reports together, turn them over to the prosecuting attorney's office. They review all the reports, and then decide what's going to happen to somebody. There's any number of things they could do. They could authorize the charges, and then you would go to an arraignment where a judge would formally arraign you on the charges and that sort of stuff, and there might be an attorney there. They could deny the charges and say, no, we don't think that person should be in any trouble. Or they could temporarily deny the charges, which means they would send me a list of things to do, which is, there's all kinds of things that they could tell me to do. And then they would review it once I get all my homework done and get it turned back into them. Then they would look at the whole picture and decide what they want to do. That doesn't mean you would be in jail for with that entire period of time, I can't say to what's going to happen with that, because we're not in charge of that. That's up to the prosecuting attorney's office.
All right. So.
Okay. So I don't want you thinking like, oh, they threw me in jail, they must think I'm guilty of something. No, that's just what we have to do. We have to do that, and then continue to do our job.
I understand it.
Okay.
I just like, I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. Like I like this cell and stuff. Like I'd like solid, like a little bit of like solitude, so like I don't hear like too much noise, cause like it just makes my mind race a lot. And
well, the good news is on the receiving side of the new jail, it's a lot more individual cells, so I think you'll probably have that. So it's not like you get thrown in general population right off the bat.
well, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with general population, just like maybe like.
But none of that's up to us either. That's the jail's rules. That's not our house, you know. So that's kind of the plan. Is we'll have those pictures taken of your injuries or anything that hurts you, and then we'll go from there. Any other questions for us?
Is there any way that I could like potentially like take a nap and?
Yeah, once you get out to the county, you can. Yep.
So how long before I'm like transported, whatever?
Well, they're still working on the paperwork to get the photos and everything from you, and that'll take a little bit of time, and then you'll go out there. I mean, it's, like I said, it's 7:45, and I bet by 10 o'clock you're asleep.
Alright, and then, as far as like the vaping part, like, is there any way that I could have him escort me, like, to just...
No, we can't do
They
anything.
wouldn't allow that. They may not even allow the vape in the building.
No, not in the jail, but like, I'm talking about like
Right
now.
here?
Yeah.
No, we can't do that anymore.
Can't do that anymore.
Okay.
No. So. All right.
Anything you want me to tell your dad?
Just that I love him, and just pray for me.
Okay. I'll tell him.
Tell my mom not to worry about me too much.
Tell your mom not to worry?
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like sometimes she just like,
Some moms do.
I know, she just over worries about me, but I mean, she has every right to feel that way.
Here's your mom. That's kind of comes with it, right?
Okay, so we can put you back in the cell you were in until someone else comes in,
Mhm.
right? You want to just lay down there until someone comes and gets you. That's what we can do, okay?
They'll take pictures and then get you out there.
All right?
Okay. You need to wash your hands. The chocolate
Looks
got
like he
everywhere.
Subsequent to the interview, further evidence procured through fulfilling the search warrant at the apartment clearly supported the details provided by Colon. The manner in which the body was arranged, the draping of a robe over it, and the poignant placement of a locket containing his father's likeness on the deceased were all consistent with what Colon had recounted. In her efforts to eliminate any trace of her presence, Colon had cleaned the apartment using several cleaning agents, which were later identified and collected by forensic specialists from the Portage Police Department. She had also confessed to her family her intent to expunge her fingerprints from the scene. An autopsy of the victim, identified as a Blowy, uncovered multiple traumas, including distinctive injuries to his neck, suggestive of forceful pressure which could provoke such damage. Notably, the autopsy report detailed a fractured hyoid bone with hemorrhaging, bleeding around the thyroid cartilage and within the anterior neck musculature, a hemorrhage in the right pectoralis major muscle, and subscapular hemorrhaging at the back of the head. These autopsy results, coupled with Colon's testimony and the condition of the apartment, indicated that she was responsible for the injuries that led to a Blowy's death. One aspect that Colon did not account for in her statement was an apparent boot print on Ablawi's chest area on his t-shirt, discovered by police, raising additional questions. In January of 2022, Iyanna Colon faced charges for murder. By September of 2023, after due legal proceedings, she was convicted of the first-degree murder of Man Saleh Ablawi. The outcome of the trial necessitates her to serve a life sentence without the possibility of parole.